Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is the sixth episode of the Church of Zen. It's 1:03 in the morning, or p.m. It's a late start. Have my parents coming over. It'll be pretty cool. Still gotta go to the gym, get my Chipotle. I'll call it a day. Let's see. So I had a brother by the name of Lucas Arabia. He was in the Greek empires, and he was trying to conquer this beast in this cave. But when he was leading up to this beast, there was lots of other mini bosses, so to speak, that he had to slay. And one of them was a wolverine. And when he's fighting this wolverine, it slashed at his sword and broke it in half. He managed to use the stubble of his sword and stab it in his heart. But that left the remaining. He still had to slay this final beast, which would be the toughest of them all. But he was now missing his sword. So what he did, instead of going back and calling for support, or getting his sword fixed, which would have been maybe the most typical route, he hid his sword behind a little rock nearby, secretly stashed, so the beast could not see it. And then he lay down in the hallway and played dead. And the scent of all these dead creatures filled the aroma of the cave, and the beast started to crawl out. And it came towards the man, Lucas Arabia, and it sort of poked at him. This thing has some sharp claws, so he had to sort of wince. This thing fucking hurts. This is a big ass motherfucker with some sharp ass talons and claws and stuff. So he's holding in the pain, sort of grimacing. This thing is just poking him and moving him around. And you could see he was sniffing him, bends over to sniff him. And then right when it starts to move on, because he knows that it's not dead, it's sort of chilling there, it goes on, it slowly starts to move towards the creatures beyond him, which are dead. And when that happens, when the beast raised its head, he took out the sword from behind the rock and stabbed the beast in the heart and drove it up, stood up and drove it. And then he ducked. He just ducked. He did like a barrel roll sort of thing. He just ran out of the way. This beast was in shock and started swinging everywhere. He ran out of the way. And then he chucked a rock in the opposite direction, and the beast chased the rock to see where the sound's coming from. And he slayed the beast. He eventually took the head of the beast back to his country and saved the day. Got the nice reward, nice check. And all was great. All was great. There's a lot of quarrels in this country right now. We have Antifa. I don't know how you say it, Antifa. I'm not quite sure what they stand for, but I know they're against Trump. I know that for sure. They're against Trump, and I think they're a liberal. They're like a violent liberal sort of group. We've got Antifa. We've got what else we got here? What other groups do we have? We have Black Lives Matter, sort of violent. We've got, what else we got? Yeah, basically just like alt-right, alt-lefts. Everyone's sort of clashing over like their vision for what society should be like, the values that we should have as a society. Yeah, lots of crazy. Lots of craziness, lots of shenanigans. I'm looking for a chord. Here it is. One sec. Let me. All right. Let's just shut it. Yeah, what's nice about the Samsung S6 that I have is that it has wireless charging, which is really cool. A lot of the new phones, like the new the new OnePlus 5 doesn't even have wireless charging, which is pretty crazy. And guess you can hear it. Alright. I just don't get in the mood. I was in the mood when I was making music, but when I make this stuff, I'm not really in the mood. It's sort of a weird thing. Sort of a weird thing, bruh. Sort of a weird thing. Sort of weird pat file. There's a geisha in the far lands of East Japan. This geisha was like no other geisha. She had talons for hands and a beak for her mouth. All the other geishas disliked her. No one understood her. She went from town to town, trying to find her place, trying to fit in, trying to find a job that she could work, but no one would accept her. And one day, she stumbled upon an old man in a cottage, a cabin, so to say, and it was deep in the woods. You know, she was just trying to get away from society, take a walk. That's where she felt most at home. And the young man said, "Come with me. I will teach you the art of conjuring." And with this art, she learned how to disguise her true identity so that she could fit into society. She disguised as the most beautiful geisha that anyone has ever seen, anyone has ever laid their eyes upon. Most beautiful hips, breasts, ass, face, everything. Eyebrows on fleek, nose on fleek, hair on fleek. She was ready to fucking rough and tumble it with the savage geishas at the time. Geisha was a tough business. You had to act like a beautiful woman to just basically have woman mannerisms, and that's was status. You had to look beautiful, act beautiful. That was the competition. Beautiful dresses, all that stuff. So basically, it was a quest of who can be the most beautiful and have the most ladylike mannerisms. And she did that. She could conjure up anything. She can make herself do whatever they wanted. Eventually, she got the eye of the prince of the land, you know, the king's son, the prince, and he had an eye for her. He wanted this geisha, so they, you know, had their meetings, their, you know, dates, whatever you want to call it. Eventually, they got married, and you know, on the it was a private wedding. Let's say, okay, they got married. Then on the honeymoon, they're in bed, and they're about to make love, and she asked, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" He says, "I sure do." And she asked, "Would you love me if I were to change?" He said, "Yes." What if I told you this is not my true appearance? Pause for a moment. He said, "Yes." She said, "Would you like to see my true appearance?" And he said, "Yes." We can go two ways. Either one, he decides to kill her, or she kills him after they don't agree, or maybe let's go with the other one because this is more like the more different sort of story. So what the fuck? Alright, so she shows her true self. You know, she has the beak, the talon hands, and he's like, "Wow, you are more beautiful than I ever thought. I knew there was something odd about you." And so the next day, they had a parade, or like not a parade, but like a exhibition where they all spoke, and they all just sort of sit around, talked about stuff with the public. And she came out in her true form, and the public did not really accept her. They're like, "What is this? Did you kill the princess?" I'm like, "No, this is the princess. This is her true form." And all right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up there. That's it. Peace.